Welcome to day 3 of Fast Training Week. We are diving into the 24-hour fast. If you want the companion guide, just put companion guide in your comments and we'll send you the free link. Dr. Mindy here, and on this video, more new science. This one is actually fairly current, 2019, and we're going to dive into longevity. And here's what they used in this study was an increase in survival rate. So what does that mean? If you're new to my channel, I love teaching everything you could possibly think of about fasting. I love bringing you the science, and then I love giving you the tools to make it applicable. So welcome. Please hit subscribe and the notification button. Okay, you ready for this cool study? So again, done in 2019, and as I dive into it, I just want to point something out to you, that this video was done in 2019, and yet why haven't we heard much about this? The other thing that I find very interesting about this study, and when I look at the notes, I'm like, yeah, this maybe the American Heart Association should have been like putting this all over their webpage, but they didn't. That the findings of this study that I'm about to show you will be presented in 2019 to the American Heart Association. And it's all about cardiovascular health, which we talked about the other day, but it's also just about longevity and how important repeated fasting. So this study has a lot more to do with the repetition of fasting and building a fasting lifestyle and how it can improve metabolic syndrome, the effects that it has on things like diabetes and obesity, and how important it is for people to build a fasting lifestyle. Not really sure if the American Heart Association has talked about that, but they pretty much should, because this is a pretty powerful study. Here's what you need to know about the study. 2,000 people. This is not a small study. And they followed these people for 4.5 years. This isn't a short blip in time. And a good percentage of them were women. Thank you. We need more studies on women. And they also went one step further. They wanted to see if fasting on a regular basis would help with survival rate, is what they called it, and longevity. Would it help people live longer, live healthier when they did repeated fasts over a long period of time, like 4.5 years? Now, this is what they did. They took into consideration other factors, because some of you might be going, well, how can fasting be so powerful? There has to be other factors. So they took into consideration socioeconomic factors, cardio risk factors, comorbidity diagnoses, medications, treatments, and other lifestyle behaviors like smoking and drinking. And this is what they say. This is a quote from them. Long-term routine fasting. This is why I want you guys fasting and doing lots of different fasts, varying your fasts. Long-term routine fasting remained a strong predictor of better survival and lower risk of heart failure, according to their researchers. So they went on, it's such a good article, such a good study, I have to keep quoting it. They went on to say that they have looked at fasting, and they've been analyzing, this researcher, Dr. Horne, has been researching and looking at fasting from 2008 to 2012. And he decided that after decades-long development of chronic disease, that routine fasting could end chronic disease. This is what I've been saying, is that we've got a world full of people packed with chronic disease that are being constantly thrown medications. But here, a 4-year study on 2,000 people show that if we just teach these people how to fast, that we could end chronic disease. That's not even changing their food. This is just fasting. So they went on to say researchers speculate that fasting routinely over a period of years, even decades, conditions the body to activate the beneficial mechanisms of fasting that you only get from a shorter fast. What does that mean? What that means is that those of you that keep fasting more and more and more, these benefits I'm talking about, autophagy, growth hormone, repairing our intestinal stem cells, they will happen to you quicker. So when I say 17 hours, is autophagy. What this article is saying is when you've done it over many, many years, you may hit autophagy earlier. When I say you reset your gut with a 24-hour fast, what this study is showing us is that if you build a fasting lifestyle over years, you may reboot your intestinal stem cells a lot quicker. It may not take you 24 hours. They went on to say that it typically takes 12 hours of fasting for the effects to be activated, but long-term fasting may cause the time to be shortened. Thank you. So that each routine faster's daily and evening overnight fasting period between dinner and breakfast produces a small amount of daily benefit. How flippin' cool is that? So I love this study, and I want to talk about how we apply it. Hopefully you already kind of get how to apply it. But first, let me just ask you this question. Do you want to live longer? Do you want to reverse disease? You want to not rely on medications for solving every ailment? Let's fast for decades and decades. And that might sound daunting if you're new to fasting, but those of you who have been around a while, please leave some encouraging comments in the notes, because those of us that have been fasting for a while, there is a cadence to it. It gets easier and easier and easier. So if you want amazing health, it's time to start learning how to build a fasting lifestyle. What else can we do to make sure that we don't build chronic disease? What else can we do to extend our life other than building a fasting lifestyle? And here are 3 of my favorite hacks. First, you've heard me say it all week, get off the toxic oils. The very first ingredient to change is get rid of the bad oils, put the good ones in. I love Andreas seed oils. I love Dave's MCT oil, Bulletproof, his ghee. There's some great good oils you can add in. So swap the oils out, you guys. This has to be your number 1 ingredient change. Second, let's get off the refined carbohydrates. Stop with the cookies and the crackers and the donuts and the muffins and all of that. That is not contributing to your health. That is contributing to disease. Go to nature's carb. Nature made some amazing carbs for you. You've got potatoes and sweet potatoes. You've got fruits. Just go to nature, provided everything you need to be healthy. Stop doing the man-made standard American processed foods. And then the last thing is, let's get rid of the toxins. Toxins you're putting on your skin, toxins that are in your food. Start reading your ingredients. If we do those 3 things and we pair it with a routine of varying our fast, we will put the big food industry out of business. We'll put big pharma out of business. We will change the immune compromised world. We will get out of pandemics. We will stop chronic disease. That is how powerful fasting is. So this study proved it. I've been saying it. I've been bringing the science to you. This study is showing that it is possible. So I will leave a link for this study in there. And as always, you guys, I'm here to support. What do you need? What do you need to be able to accomplish this? You know, if there's one thing that 2020 taught us, is your health affects me and my health affects you. So we're all in this together, and fasting doesn't cost any money. And the research is showing it is our door out to poor health. So I hope that convinced you. Leave your fasting story here. If you're dubious about fasting, go read the stories. This is our way out. And as always, I hope that helps.